When a ghost strikes, it's not messy. It's clean, elegant, surgical. Here's how you do it. 1. Know your target. Study everything. Their needs, fears, patterns. You win before you fight because you understand before you act. 2. Conceal your intentions. Don't show your end game. People resist what they can see. Keep it vague, keep it smooth, keep it silent. Let them move, then checkmate. 3. Control the frame. Never enter their narrative. You write your own. Use language to set the tone. Use silence to shift power. Use presence to own the space. Power isn't what you say. It's how people react to your silence. 6. Build your empire in the dark. Legends are built in silence. Empires rise while crowds are distracted. Power is forged behind closed doors. Don't talk about what you're building. Build it. Don't warn them. Shock them. Don't seek validation. Become undeniable. While they party, you plan. While they gossip, you grind. While they sleep, you stack victories. The world doesn't reward the loudest. It rewards the most relentless. Every night you don't quit is a knife in the chest of every hater who said you wouldn't make it. 7. Become legendary, not likable. This is the bitter truth. You will never be liked by everyone, but you can be respected by everyone who matters. Stop chasing acceptance. You were not born to be palatable. You were born to be powerful.
This is Chris. Welcome to the world's first GYATT Fortnite podcast, where I respect the grind here, even if it means spectating a teammate who's hiding in the tree and calling it strategy. We all do it. Technically, someone else might already have a Fortnite podcast, but in the spirit of Fortnite, I once rebooted a teammate who screamed, "Don't do it!" the whole time. That's the kind of loyalty this podcast brings. Not even the Force could explain why this mini-season feels like a side quest written by a stormtrooper. I love the weapons, though. I'm finally getting used to the new reload map, Slurp Rush, where I am always 3 impulse grenades away from losing custody of my loadout. That's right, I take my loadout for lunch and dinner, and sometimes I babysit it on the weekends. This mini season 1 is about to be over, so it's time to unpack this like a loot chest filled with questionable decisions and one mythic idea. And may the aim assist be with you. And if it's not, well, that's what excuses are made for. Seriously, let's talk about this like it's the final zone and I'm hiding in a dumpster with big opinions. So if you're ready, let's dive in. Welcome to the GYATT Fortnite podcast, where I'm not just emotionally prepared for season 3. I'm tactically aligned, spiritually loaded, and waiting to call in orbital Star Destroyer fire on Lavish Lair like it owes me child support. We're in the final days of the mini-season, folks. We're floating in this limbo zone between season 2 and season 3, where the servers are still online, but our spirits are buffering. And much like a vending machine in Crime City that never gave me really what I wanted, this season had its moments. But now I'm just mashing buttons and hoping something legendary drops. Now listen, I don't know if y'all have been paying attention, but the internet is starting to smell like an AI-scented air freshener. Everything's automated. Everything's gamed. And suddenly, the only place I want to feel something real, very real, is in a Fortnite lobby where someone actually misses their shots, where they panic and maybe fall off a roof, like in Tilted Towers. I've done it plenty of times. In a world drowning in algorithms, I want to play with real players and with real pain. And if not that, then at least give me a back bling that looks like a crying Roomba. You know, speaking of Roombas, they always look like they're crying when they're going all over the floor. I don't know what it is. It's just, I don't know. Listen, I'm not asking for too much. You ever look around your lobby seriously and ask yourself, am I playing with people? Or is this a Disney Channel casting call for emotionally detached bots in disguise? Because lately, my lobbies have been serving full-on Westworld meets Wall-E energy. I'm not saying I'm better than bots, but at least I reload before I push. Meanwhile, the item shop tried to emotionally manipulate me again. I walked in for one Mandalorian bundle and walked out with no lightsaber, no red, green, blue, purple, nope. And no lightsaber for a pickaxe, and a new sense of shame because I just keep buying everything in the item shop that I really want, but it's not really giving me what I really want. We're in the final spiral of this season, and I'm not gonna lie, I feel like Fortnite and I are in couples therapy. I'm saying things like, you never surprise me anymore. And it's responding with, here's a Star Destroyer to vaporize Lavish Lair. So now I don't know if I'm in love or if I'm about to just ghost this map entirely. Season 3 better come correct. I want destruction. I want chaotic rebirth. I want tilted rebuilt with emotional damage. Rebuild me while you're at it. That's why I'm begging Epic. Don't give me a perfectly balanced season 3. Give me a mess. Give me emotional instability in the form of map-wide destruction. I want to see exactly what Star Wars does to this season 2 island. Let me fire that damn Star Destroyer beam so hard it leaves a crater where Lavish Lair used to be. And then let me cry about it afterward. As we stare into the chaotic void of season 3, I want more than new skins and POIs. I want a total reset. Burn the island. Build it again. Let the sweat gods cry. But this game still has my soul. Every reload click, every late game circle that ends on a slope I can't climb, every item shop bait and switch that empties my V-Bucks wallet like it's practicing financial gaslighting. I love it here. Anyways, let's talk about what matters. Before moving on, I just want to let our listeners know that we're currently trying to build our following on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple podcasts. Small, independent podcasts like this one need all the support we can get to survive. So, sharing, liking, commenting on socials, and reposting on TikTok and X, and following on social media is greatly appreciated and helps keep this afloat during turbulent times. Thank you.
Yeah, obviously.
This is Chris, and welcome to the world's first GYATT Fortnite podcast, where I've spent the last 20 minutes spectating a teammate who hasn't left the bush, hasn't moved, hasn't switched weapons, and yet somehow has the exact same number of victory royales this season as me. Technically, someone else might already have a Fortnite podcast, but in the spirit of Fortnite, I'm just here to witness the chaos and wonder if I'm actually playing or just watching my life unfold from the sidelines. Now, we've all been here. You log on, queue up, drop in, and then you die. Maybe it was your fault. Maybe it wasn't. But the truth doesn't matter anymore because now you're in spectator mode. And something about that moment, something about watching instead of doing, it starts to feel bigger than the game. Today's episode is about what we see when we're no longer playing, what we notice about others, what we project onto their movements, what we remember about ourselves, and maybe, just maybe, what we learn about life from simply watching it. This is episode 32, Spectator. I used to hate dying early in Fortnite. I used to slam the controller, rage quit, go straight back to lobby. But something changed. Now when I die early, I stay, I watch, I spectate. Not because I expect to be impressed, but because I've started to notice something else. It's like I'm watching a little movie. The way this random teammate crouches while looting, the hesitation before they pick up a new gun, the panic jump when they think someone's aiming. It's all a mirror. I see myself in it. And it hits different when you're not in control. There's something brutally honest about watching another player fight your fight. You're already dead, but you're still emotionally in it, still hoping, still judging, still narrating. Spectator mode turns Fortnite into theater. You stop trying to win. You start trying to understand. And that's where it begins. There's this thing called mirror neurons. It's what lights up in your brain when you watch someone else do something. Like watching someone eat ice cream and feeling like you tasted it too. Or watching a Fortnite player clutch up and your heart, boom, 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 races like it was your hands on the controller. Spectating taps into that. It's not passive, it's visceral. You flinch when they get hit. You lean your head as they turn corners. You scream when they miss a shot, even though you would have missed too. Spectating becomes a weird liminal space. Half observer, half ghost. You're not playing, but you're still there. And that weird mental in between, well, that's life. Sometimes. When you're watching a friend fall apart, but don't know how to help, when you're stuck on the sidelines of your own decisions, and when you're replaying memories you can't change. In Fortnite, spectator mode lasts a few minutes. In real life, some people live entire years stuck watching their life play out, without ever grabbing the controller again. There was this match, Duo Q. I died early, caught in a third party after trying to take a 1v1 that I honestly had no business taking. My teammate, silent, level 54, rocking the Travis Scott skin. I can't tell you how many times a Travis Scott skin has done the most trivial nonsense in the game. But at first, I was annoyed. Pretty annoyed. He didn't go for my card. He didn't rush to the reboot van. He didn't even type in chat. He just walked. Not even looting aggressively. He crouch walked through the entire map like he was visiting old friends. Past Seaport City, into the edge of the storm, and back out. I kept spectating, waiting for something to happen. But it didn't. He didn't fire a single shot. And then, with 2 players left, he sat down using the have a seat emote and let the storm close around him. He let himself lose. And I don't know why. I don't. But that moment broke me a little because I realized I was expecting a story with a climax. But what I got was grief. What I got was someone who wasn't there to win. They were there to remember. Let's talk about what doesn't show up on the kill feed. Like the time you dropped with your friend who just got dumped. You didn't talk about it, but you stuck close to them the entire match. Didn't matter if it was optimal. You just stayed near. You want to be his emotional Fortnite friend. Or the time someone gifted you a skin. It's happened to me randomly sometimes because they could tell you needed a win. Not in-game, in life. Spectator mode doesn't tell you these stories, but they're there in the hesitation, in the aimless wandering, in the bush camping that isn't fear. I call it recovery. There are ghosts in Fortnite, not in the lore, not in the plot lines or 0-point events. Real ghosts, emotional ones, players lingering in matches they don't care to win. People watching from the outside because it's safer than engaging. People like me. So I started thinking, what if you could spectate your life? Like actually press spectate and watch how you move through a day. Would you be impressed? Would you be confused? Would you yell at yourself for making the same mistake again? I think about it sometimes. What it would feel like to watch myself make a choice I already know is wrong. To see the hesitation before I speak. To watch how I treat myself when no one else is watching. And the truth is, I'm not sure I'd like it. Because spectating reveals more than strategy. It reveals habits. And habits, when you see them, clearly can be terrifying. Especially the ones you pretend don't exist. Okay, here's where things get weird. One night, after a match, I died in early. I started spectating this guy. He was a default skin, level 5. Obviously, brand new. I'm so clear as day right now that this has probably happened to a majority of you. But he wasn't playing like a bot. He was too smooth, too aware of things he shouldn't know yet. Like taking a perfect angle behind a bush, pre-aiming a shockwave escape, dropping builds to bait a sniper. I stayed watching for 10 full minutes. Then something strange happened. He started emoting, almost telling a story, using the 200 IQ emote and painting the outline of a dead body on the ground. He used the thumbs up emote. And then he just died. Straight up, logged out of the game. No final kill, just game over. Back to lobby. No replay saved. I tried to check the username, nothing. I swear to you, it felt like he knew I was watching. Like I wasn't, spectating a player, but almost like a memory of one. Like I had stumbled into someone else's echo. Like Fortnite had let me spectate a ghost. Sometimes I log on, I queue up, I go through the motions. But am I really playing? Or am I just reacting? Going where the zone tells me? Following trends? Looting like I'm supposed to? Maybe that's what spectator mode reveals. Not how others play, but maybe how passive we become. In Fortnite, in friendships, in life, watching, commenting, judging, but rarely grabbing the sticks, rarely dropping hot, rarely risking. So, what do? We take the shot. We ready up again. We land where it hurts. But we also spectate with intention. We watch to understand. Not just to critique. We stay in matches longer than we need to. Because maybe someone needs to know they weren't alone when they lost. And if we see someone doing something strange, walking slow, sitting by a campfire, dancing in the storm, maybe we don't call them weird. Maybe we call them human, especially with all the bots in Fortnite. Maybe we realize we're all spectators sometimes. And that's okay, as long as eventually you press ready. Ever dig through your Fortnite replays? Not the flex, not for clips, but just for you to see how you moved, what you noticed, what you ignored. I do that sometimes. I actually use the post-party app on my phone, and I'm always clipping either from Battle Royale and from Reload. Sometimes I use my best clips. Sometimes I even take clips that, aren't the best. I'll load up a replay from a match I forgot. I'll follow myself like I'm a stranger. And what do I usually find? It's never the fights, but it's the pauses. The moment I stop at a ledge and look out over the map. The extra second I hover over a loot pile before moving on. The useless emote I throw in a quiet house, alone. They aren't strategic. They're emotional. Replay files are digital diaries. We just don't read them that way. But maybe we should. The other day, I caught my reflection in the store window. I'm not going to lie, I think I do it all the time. Seriously, not planned, not posed, just caught it sideways. I was looking good, and for a split second, I didn't recognize myself. I looked worried, a bit heavy, like someone who had died early in the match and just hadn't left the spectate screen. And I thought, what if I am spectating myself in real life? Like some future version of me is watching this moment right now. And this is the reason why I wrote this episode. Just literally waiting to see if I'll say what I mean. If I'll fight for something. If I'll push instead of hiding in cover. And if that version of me is screaming, don't go back to lobby yet. Just stay. Just one more circle. You ever notice how some parts of the map never get touched by the storm? No matter how many matches you play, some little patch of land always stays safe. It's not in the circle, but it's untouched. There's a place like that in me, and maybe in you. A small mental POI that's never been burned by doubt, never looted by depression. It's quiet, empty, but clean. And I visit it when I spectate, because watching others gives me time to sit there, to just be. To remember that even when the game feels too fast, too brutal, too sweaty, there are still parts of me that the storm can't find. And that's why I stay sometimes. That's why I watch. There's a danger. Seriously, a real one. The longer you spectate, the more you forget how to play. You never want to do as somebody else does completely. You always want to be yourself. You start thinking too much. You start second guessing every angle, judging more than learning. You watch that one crack player build a full fortress in 3 seconds and think, I can never. And that becomes your script. I can never. I'll just stay in the bush. I'll just rotate wide. I'll just let them fight. Until one day, you're not even queuing. You're just opening the game to scroll, looking at the battle pass like it's a novel you'll never read. You've become a career spectator. And the worst part, no one else knows it but you. But you can break it. You always can. Because Fortnite, for all its flaws, for all its broken metas and recycled skins, Fortnite always lets you hit ready up. Imagine if they didn't, though. Imagine they said, you know what? You suck so bad right now. You are not allowed to ready up for 5 minutes. You're in timeout. You know, the one thing I love about Fortnite is it doesn't care if you're good. It doesn't care how many wins you've got. It doesn't remember your losses the way you do. It just says, have fun, drop in, let's go again. And that mindset, that's life. You can come back from anything. A failed friendship, a month of silence, a week where you didn't feel like yourself. Press the button. Even if you're scared, even if you're rusty, even if your fingers shake when you aim. Play again. You're not cursed. You're just human. So, this last part, it's not for the crack players, not for the streamers, not for the sweaty lobbies. It's for the ones who stayed, the ones who spectated their friends because they didn't want to leave, the ones who kept watching even when their team was gone, the ones who threw a med kit at a stranger and hoped it meant something. You are the soul of this game. Without you, there would not be a Fortnite. You are the ones who see what no one clips, the small victories, the unspoken bonds, the moments that mean everything to someone and nothing to the rest of the lobby. So if that's you, if you're spectating right now, if you're listening to the world's first GYATT Fortnite podcast, I see you. And I hope you see you too. This has been episode 32 of the GYATT Fortnite podcast. Spectator. And maybe this wasn't just about Fortnite. Maybe this was about all the lives we've watched. The ones we lost. The ones we helped. the ones we stayed for. So today, I'm not going to ask you to press ready. I'm just going to ask you to look. Look at the game. Look at your teammate. Look at the version of yourself you've been spectating for way too long. And when you're ready, take the controller back. This is Chris. Thanks for tuning in to the world's first GYATT Fortnite podcast. Until next time, keep your shields up, your emotes ready, and remember, it's all about how you see the game. So, we're a little less than, I think, maybe another week or so, and we get this superhero season. I'm super excited to be a superhero. Can't wait for it. Wondering what Fortnite has planned with this extra time that they gave us with this mini season. It was short. It was awesome. Some of the weapons were absolutely amazing, and some of them just made you log off. It's gonna be a hot summer. I'm sure Epic knows about that already, and that's why they're prepared to deliver something so amazing. And if you'd like to follow the GYATT Fortnite podcast on social media, you can. You can follow us on TikTok at GYATT Fortnite Podcast. And on X at GYATT Fortcast. And if you want to buy me a drink, maybe it's a water, maybe it's a sugar-free Red Bull, maybe it's a coffee. I love coffee. You can. Over on Cash App at $Chris Fresh Here. Information is in the show notes. Stay cool. Stay calm. The Fortnite island is about to get destroyed. And I'll see you soon.